What's going on, y'all? It's J.D. Piquel. Today on the Hard Count, Bru McCoy is transferring to Tennessee. What does this mean for the Volunteers? Welcome into CFB with JD, the People's Channel. Everything you know, everything you love about college football happens here. Happens nearly every single day. Armstrong Sims, Jack McKenzie doing the heavy lifting. Help drive the show at my Twitter page at JD Piquel. Bru McCoy, the number one athlete in the class of 2019, has landed in Knoxville. He will be playing for the Tennessee Volunteers this upcoming season, and he has had a crazy journey to get to Knoxville. Was at USC, transferred to Texas, transferred back to USC, and then was arrested recently. I want to say it was late 2021, and has since decided to part ways with the school and is now landed in Tennessee. And Bru McCoy is a player now. Like, dude can ball. Went to Modern Day High School, played all over the field. Was like a linebacker. I think he played some safety for them. Was a force at wide receiver. Didn't get as much burn at USC because he had just freaks in front of him, and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Drake London, two guys that, well, one I expect to tear up the NFL, and the other that's already tearing up the NFL as a rookie. So he had his work cut out for him there in terms of seeing the football. But he flashed a little bit in the COVID season. I think he had about 2 touchdowns, somewhere in the range of 20-ish receptions in a shortened season. So he's had some things on tape, like you're able to see, okay, Bru McCoy can play at the college level. Does he have a clean shot at the college game just yet? I don't know if we can necessarily say that with a ton of certainty, but at the very least, you get a really strong role player in Bru McCoy. In the ceiling, I don't think it exists for Bru McCoy. There is so much ability for a guy like this, and for him to be on your roster at Tennessee, that's huge. But what does this mean for Bru McCoy? This is it for him. Like, this is your shot if you're Bru McCoy. You don't get to go to a 4th or 5th school. I mean, everyone's seen the Netflix documentary Last Chance U, where you go to the JUCO and like all these guys that are trying to bounce back or trying to get to a D1. Bru McCoy has the luxury of being a freak show, so he doesn't have to go to a JC, and someone was able to take him. But make no mistake, this is it for him. So there is a ton of pressure for him to be able to perform and to do well and contribute and ultimately, let's call a spade, live up to his tagging that he got in that 2019 recruiting class. I mean, his services were being courted by just about everybody in the country. And so for him to land at an SEC school with a coach like Josh Heupel and a quarterback like Hendon Hooker and potentially have a quarterback like Nico, I mean, he's got 3 years of eligibility. I don't expect for him to use all 3 years, but to have that kind of a window to be able to ball in a program that's rising, like this could be opportunity meets preparation, and they meet up and it's really nice. That could be what this is for him. So I'm excited for him. I'm excited that he's going to get a shot on a big stage like the SEC, because if you can ball in the SEC, you go do your thing against Alabama, do your thing against Georgia, do your thing against Florida, put a school like Tennessee on the map, no less. Like, that would be huge for him. And ultimately, his goal, I would imagine, as it is for anybody who's the number one athlete in their respective recruiting class, is to go league. Like, go play in the NFL, be a first-round draft pick. Make no mistake, that's what this whole goal is for him. And I think that Tennessee fit that for him in terms of potential and offense and opportunity. They were top 10 in the country a season ago in terms of completion, in terms of yards per pass, 9.1. They're number 7 in the country. You're going to get a chance to make some big plays. I know 9.1 doesn't sound like a lot, but the point of the stat is you're going to get a chance to make big plays downfield, because you think about that average, a lot of those are going a lot farther than 9 yards. So Bru McCoy going to be a weapon for them. I'm excited for him. Again, I'm excited for this opportunity. What does it mean for Tennessee? Obviously, you land a guy like Bru McCoy. He's going to help your offense. You run a fun style of offense that's becoming attractive. So obviously, Bru McCoy is like a nice asset, but let's just broaden the scope here a little bit more. I think landing Bru McCoy from the transfer portal is bigger than just landing Bru McCoy. Like I just mentioned, you're becoming a destination for Tennessee. You're becoming a spot where kids want to be at. You're an SEC school. It's hard to recruit in the SEC. Like, let's just call it what it is. You got to recruit against Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, now Billy Napier, who's Mr. Scared Money Don't Make No Money. Like, there is fierce competition in the SEC to get these kids on board. And I don't know for a fact, but I would assume a guy like Bru McCoy had some options. And so to be a destination for high school kids says a lot about Josh Heupel, about the way that he has this program trending, about the belief that he's able to create within recruits and within his program to get kids on board. That's a really big deal because recruiting is the lifeblood of college football. Anybody that knows anything about anything will tell you that's the truth. So that's the first point. The second piece, and this is more of an assumption than anything, so take this as you will, but in a world where the NIL game seems to be making a lot of decisions, Tennessee's winning. That's just it. Tennessee's winning. There's not confirmation, but there's rumors that you landed an $8 million quarterback in Nico, which is huge. You got another great transfer. I think it was from Ohio State. They landed a big corner transfer. And now you land Bru McCoy. Yes, these kids are coming because of Josh Heupel, but they also probably have a little bit of changes going in their pocket. And for the way the rules are written right now, or I should say the way the rules aren't written right now, that's very much above board. You can do that. You can get a kid in your program. And so props to Tennessee for being on the cutting edge of this in a sense of saying, okay, you're saying we can get a bag to a kid to get him in our program? Beautiful. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Everybody who has money, let's make this happen. Let's get them on board. And so I think the awareness of Tennessee to say, okay, this is a way that we can get a leg up on some programs that are slower to do this, absolutely phenomenal. Again, I do not know for a fact that's what happens with Bru McCoy. I don't know that's the case with Nico. I don't know any of that. But where there's smoke, there is fire. We're all adults here. We all can understand that there is some money probably changing hands, and that's not necessarily far-fetched to say. Let me know what you think in the comments below, though. What does this mean for Tennessee? What does this mean for Bru McCoy? And do you think NIL is involved in this matter? You know my thoughts on it, but that's the way that we're going to rock with it. Appreciate you tuning in. That's it for us here on The Hard Count. This is CFB with JD. We do a video nearly every single day. Would encourage you to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at JD Pakel to stay up with every single thing we're doing here. We're going to keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time.